Hi there, welcome back to Technical Tips. Today, we're going to tackle something really practical and super useful, creating a unique set of incrementing serial numbers in Excel. Whether you're managing inventory, organizing data, or need a unique identifier for each row of your records, serial numbers can be very useful. Let's dive right in. Here's a spreadsheet that lists a set of products that your company sells. Let's assume you need 3-digit serial numbers for each product on this list, starting with 101. One way to approach this is with Excel's autofill method. Autofill automatically generates serial numbers that match a pattern detected by Excel. So, start by entering the first two serial numbers, 101 and 102. Then, select the two numbers. Notice the small square at the bottom right corner of the selection? That's called the fill handle. Click and drag the fill handle down to the bottom of your list. See how the serial numbers are automatically generated? What happens when you add additional rows? After you add rows to extend the serial numbers, just select at least two cells above and drag the fill handle. What happens if you delete rows? You can see that the deleted products and serial numbers disappear. The other remaining products remain aligned to their original serial numbers. But what if you need to add thousands of new serial numbers? Clicking and dragging autofill would not be convenient if the number of rows is large. Then, you might want to consider using the Series tool. Start by entering the first serial number. Then go back and select that number. Then on the Home tab in the Editing group, click on the Fill tool, then the Series option. In the dialog box that appears, select the Columns option, and then enter the last serial number you want in the Stop Value box. For this example, let's use 150. But in your case, this number could be arbitrarily large, perhaps thousands. Then click OK. You can see that we have all the serial numbers we need. When adding or removing rows later, the behavior of the added or removed products is exactly the same as the earlier autofill method. Next, we'll explore some formula methods to generate serial numbers. The nice thing about formulas is that once you enter the formula, the serial numbers will be automatically generated, and the numbers will remain in perfect sequence, even if you add or remove products later. Also, formulas easily handle large numbers of rows. One of the easiest formulas we could use is the formula from above method. Start by entering the first serial number, then enter a simple +1 formula in the cell below. To do that, enter an equal sign. All functions start with an equal sign. Then click on the cell above, then plus, then the number 1, enter. You can see this calculated the next serial number as 1, greater than the cell above it. Now, copy this formula to the bottom of your product list. You can copy and paste, or just use the fill handle. This simple formula produces a series of sequential numbers. However, I suggest that you do not use this particular formula. The main problem is that if you ever need to delete a row, the formula breaks down. After I delete this row, you can see that all the rows below the deleted row now report a reference error. So, although this formula is simple, it will behave poorly if the previous rows are manipulated. A better formula is one based on the actual spreadsheet row number. First, notice how our first product is on row number 4? Let's use that information to create a serial number with a formula. In Excel, we can use the row function to tell the formula what row we are on. In the serial number cell, enter an equal sign, then row, open and close parenthesis, and enter. You can see, this returns the row number, 4. Since we actually want to start our serial numbers with 101, let's modify the formula to correct this. We want to calculate the number of rows between this row and the header row, then add the number 100, so that the first serial number is 101. So, select the formula again and subtract or minus the row number of the header, which is row, open parenthesis, click on the header, press the F4 key to make this an absolute reference to the header, then close parenthesis, then add the number 100, then enter. You can see, this results in 101, which is what we were aiming for. Now, copy this formula to the bottom. Perfect. What happens if you delete rows? You can see that the product was deleted, but the serial numbers remain intact and in sequence. This means that the serial numbers associated with products below your deletion will change. So the key benefits of a formula are that it can easily produce any number of serial numbers, and the numbers always stay in sequence. The next method is my favorite formula for generating serial numbers. This uses a relatively new function available in Excel called sequence. The sequence function is special because it produces an entire column of serial numbers with only a single formula in the top row. You never need to copy it anywhere. It just automatically expands. Super simple. Let's try it. In the serial number cell, enter an equal sign, then sequence, open parenthesis. Here, the sequence function wants to know how many serial numbers to display in the column. So, let's calculate that number by using a function that will count the total number of products listed in the product name column, or column F. The count A function will do this. So, count A, open parenthesis, F, colon F, which represents the entire F column, then close parenthesis -1, so we don't count the header row as a product. Then comma 1 to indicate we want only a single column of sequence numbers, comma, and finally 101 to indicate our starting serial number, close parenthesis and enter. Wow! Notice this results in filling our serial column completely? There's no need to copy and paste this formula anywhere. Even if we add rows to the bottom, the formula continues to work without any need to copy it down further. The single formula entered in the first row will continue to fill in all the serial numbers, no matter how large your list becomes. And there you have it, a variety of ways to create serial numbers in Excel. I recommend the autofill method if you have a small number of products, and if it is important to retain a constant alignment of products with their serial numbers. Otherwise, I recommend the sequence formula, which supports arbitrarily large number of rows and will populate automatically without copying the formula. I hope this video has inspired you to create serial numbers in your Excel spreadsheets. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and check out some of these other videos for more tips and tricks. Also, comment below with what you'd like to learn next. Thanks for watching.